Hello, and welcome to today's episode. I'm so glad you've joined me, because today we're going to explore one of the most fascinating, beautiful, and sometimes mysterious subjects on Earth: gemstones and crystals. Now, if you've ever walked past a crystal shop and felt pulled to step inside, if you've ever worn a piece of jewelry and felt it was more than just pretty, or if you've ever simply admired how sunlight sparkles off a stone and thought, wow, that's magical, then you already know the pull gemstones have on us. But what makes them so special? Why should you collect them? Why do people wear them and display them with so much pride? Well, that's what this episode is all about. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll journey into the world of crystals, their history, their uses, their beauty, and the unique energies they bring into our lives. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive. You might be wondering, why collect gemstones and crystals at all? Aren't they just rocks? Well, yes and no. Technically, they are rocks and minerals, but they're not just any rocks. They are nature's artwork, formed over millions of years under heat, pressure, and incredible geological forces. Every single stone you hold in your hand has its own history. It may have been forming while dinosaurs still roamed the earth. Think about that. When you hold a crystal, you're holding a little piece of Earth's timeline. Collectors often say they feel a connection to something larger when they build their crystal collections. And here's the thing, collecting doesn't just mean stacking shelves full of stones. It can mean carefully choosing one or two that really speak to you. Some people collect them for beauty, others for their symbolic meanings, and some for the joy of having something completely unique. Because here's the truth, no two stones are identical. Even if they come from the same mine, the same pocket of earth, their colors, patterns, and textures vary. So when you collect crystals, you're curating something as individual as your own fingerprint. And here's a question for you to reflect on. If you could collect just one stone that represents you, your personality, your essence, what would it be? Would it be a calming blue stone like aquamarine? A fiery red garnet? Or maybe a shimmering quartz crystal that seems to hold light itself? Think about that as we go deeper. Now let's talk about one of the most popular ways people use crystals: wearing them. Gemstones and crystals aren't just pretty to look at. For centuries, cultures have believed that when you wear them close to your body, they interact with your energy. Whether or not you believe in energy fields or chakras, there's something undeniably special about carrying a stone with you every day. For example, wearing a rose quartz pendant over your heart is said to open you up to love and compassion. An amethyst ring can bring calmness and intuition, supporting your mind when things feel overwhelming. A citron bracelet can be a reminder of joy, prosperity, and creativity. When worn as jewelry, crystals also become affirmations. If you put on a necklace with turquoise in the morning and say to yourself, "I am protected and strong today," then every time you feel that necklace throughout the day, you're reminded of that intention. Of course, there's also practicality to think about. Some stones are very hard, like sapphires or rubies, and they hold up beautifully in rings that get daily wear. Others, like fluorite or selenite, are much softer and can scratch or even crumble if you're not careful. So when you choose jewelry, it helps to know where your stone sits on the Mohs scale of hardness. We'll talk about that scale a little later. But let's not forget the fun side. Wearing crystals is stylish. They sparkle, they glow, they stand out. You're not just wearing jewelry, you're wearing Earth's art, and it tells a story every time someone asks, "Wow, what stone is that?" Gemstones aren't only for your jewelry box, they can transform your home. Imagine a large, purple amethyst geode standing proudly in your living room, catching the sunlight and scattering tiny sparkles across your walls. Or a simple bowl of polished tumbled stones placed on your coffee table, offering pops of color and a sense of calm. Some people place crystals by their doors as symbols of protection and welcome. Others set them on their desks to help with focus and productivity. A piece of clear quartz on your nightstand might bring clarity to your dreams or simply look beautiful under the glow of a lamp. Decorating with crystals blends natural energy with interior design. It's like inviting a little bit of the earth into your personal space. Let's take a step back in time, because gemstones have been treasured throughout history. In ancient Egypt, lapis lazuli was considered a stone of the gods. Cleopatra was said to grind it into powder and wear it as eyeshadow, not only for beauty, but for spiritual protection. In ancient Greece, the word amethyst literally means not drunken. The Greeks believed amethyst could prevent intoxication, so they carved goblets from it to drink wine. In China, jade has been revered for thousands of years as a symbol of purity, wisdom, and eternity. It wasn't just jewelry, it was carved into ceremonial tools and buried with emperors. In the Bible, gemstones are described in the breastplate of Aaron, the high priest, and again in the descriptions of heaven. Each stone carried deep symbolic meaning. In medieval Europe, garnets were thought to protect warriors in battle, and sapphires were believed to guard against envy and poisoning. Throughout every culture, gemstones weren't just pretty decorations. They were seen as powerful, sacred, and deeply connected to life and spirit. And honestly, don't we still feel that today? Crystals are found all around the world, but some places are especially famous. Brazil is known for amethyst, citron, and clear quartz. Madagascar produces stunning rose quartz and labradorite. Tanzania is home to tanzanite, which can only be found in one specific region of the country. Diamonds, as you may know, form deep within the Earth's mantle and make their way up through volcanic eruptions. Quartz, on the other hand, is one of the most common minerals and can be found almost everywhere. When collecting, some people pay close attention to ethical sourcing. After all, these stones are treasures from the earth, and it matters how they're mined. Supporting shops and sellers that source responsibly is becoming more and more important. Let's talk about the Mohs scale. This is the tool gemologists use to measure how hard a mineral is, that is, how resistant it is to scratches. It ranges from 1 to 10, talc is the softest at 1, quartz is a solid 7, which is why it's great for jewelry. Diamonds, at 10, are the hardest known natural substance. Knowing this matters. If you're wearing a ring with a stone that's a 3 or 4, like fluorite, it could scratch if you bump it on a table. But a sapphire or ruby, which are 9 on the scale, will last a lifetime. Value comes down to rarity, color, size, and clarity. A small, flawless emerald can be worth more than a much larger quartz crystal, and of course, crystals need care. Clean them gently, usually just mild soap and water. Keep softer stones away from harder ones so they don't scratch. And be careful with sunlight, because stones like amethyst and rose quartz can fade if left out too long. Now here's my favorite part, the benefits. Crystals are used in meditation, energy work, and daily life as reminders of our intentions. Amethyst, for calmness, intuition, and peace of mind. Citron, for joy, abundance, and creativity. Rose quartz, for love, compassion, and self-acceptance. Black tourmaline, for grounding and protection. Even if you don't believe in metaphysical properties, there's value in the symbolism. Holding a crystal during meditation can focus your mind. Carrying one in your pocket can remind you of your goals. Placing one on your desk can serve as a mindfulness anchor, a visual reminder to breathe, refocus, and move forward with positivity. Think of it this way, crystals are physical tokens of intention. They help us turn thoughts into something we can see, hold, and return to. So, why collect gemstones and crystals? Because they connect us to the Earth's ancient story. They inspire us with beauty, history, and energy. And they serve as companions on our journey toward love, peace, courage, and joy. Whether you wear them, display them, or simply admire them, they remind us that the Earth itself is an artist, and we are lucky enough to enjoy its work. Before we wrap up, here's a reflection for you. What gemstone is calling to you right now? Is it something for love, for clarity, for strength, or for joy? Maybe this week is the perfect time to find that stone and let it be part of your life. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a friend who loves crystals, or someone who's just beginning to explore them. Like, share, and subscribe to Honey Set. Until next time,